Right. In our previous lesson, we started talking about dividends. However, we did not mention one very important detail. Conceptually, when a company pays a cash dividend to its shareholders, its assets decrease, right? Cash is an asset. The company uses the cash it has on its balance sheet to pay shareholders a dividend, so assets decrease. That's 100% correct. Something else needs to decrease too, though. Liabilities aren't affected by this transaction. It has to be equity. And it is. Retained earnings represent profits that have not been distributed to shareholders. Okay, but guess what? Some of them are going to be distributed now. Therefore, the accounting entry would be credit cash and debit retained earnings within equity. Perfect. So, given that equity decreases as a result of this transaction, what should happen to the stock market price of listed firms, according to you? Do you think it will decrease too? I'm sure you are on the same page. The share price has to decrease once the dividend has been taken into consideration. Investors valued the company at $50 before it announced it would pay a $1 dividend. So once the money's been distributed to shareholders, the company should be valued at $49, right? The subtle question here is, when do we start accounting for the dividend payment? Once it has been declared? After it has been paid? A different date? That's quite technical, but it is very important too. It has a direct reflection on the stock price we would expect to see on the market. Let's imagine we have the following timeline. First, there is a declaration date. The company issues a press release that the board of directors has approved the payment of a $1 dividend. Then we have the ex-dividend date, which is the first day when the stock's shares will reflect its new price of $49. $50 minus $1, remember? In most cases, the ex-dividend date is 2 days before the holder of record date, when all shareholders on record will receive a dividend. If an investor buys company shares after the holder of record date, he won't receive a dividend payment, because the owner of the stock before him would be presumed as the one who's received the dividend. And finally, the payment date is the date at which shareholders receive their checks or wire transfers. So, the first date when the new stock price reflects the dividend payment is the ex-dividend date. Awesome. Next on our agenda, share repurchases. Thanks for watching.